So let's talk about the different types of distress. And distress, I know, is a term that has some pretty negative connotations, and it typically means one thing, but it doesn't only mean that one thing. And that's some of the education. A lot of people in this business don't really understand some of the terms that they use. So we want to make sure that you do, so that nobody's telling you something that you're not prepared for, and that you can make sure that you're finding somebody that is really good to work with. When it comes to the three types of distress, let's talk about it. There's physical distress, and that is all about the condition of the house, right? Somebody might say, "Oh, I found a distressed property," or "I have a distressed property," and that can just be a place that's in a ton of disrepair. When I was doing coaching and training actively, I talked a lot about blue tarps and tweaker blinds. You know, the house you drive by and the levelers are all thrashed because it looks like tweakers have been out looking for the cops. That can be the house. It's got the overgrown grass. It's the yard's all like a jungle. There's cars parked everywhere. It looks like it's fallen down. Maybe part of it is fallen down. Maybe it's caught on fire. It's fire and water damage, things like that. A tree fell through the roof. That's a property that's in physical distress. It's not just dated. It's got bigger issues. It's physically distressed. Got needs a lot of things going on, often unfinanceable with conventional lending. Somebody who's been in their house that long or inherited a property like that might often look for an as is, whereas, because they don't want to take on the size of the project. There's financial distress. This is where the term usually lives. When somebody says distressed house or distressed homeowner, they're talking about somebody who's in financial distress. They've got financial problems like foreclosure, bankruptcy, other things going on, that there's a lot of financial distress. So they have external motivation. When we talked about value in one of the previous webinars, the value is usually set and the appraisers look for no external forces. Financial distress is an external force. A property in foreclosure or bankruptcy, the court is forcing the sale of the house. It's not a willing seller. It's not a willing buyer. It's an unwilling seller and a willing buyer. That's a financial distress situation. Or maybe they just are really financially motivated because they've come into a great opportunity and they need to make something happen. Sometimes you will see investors, even successful investors, in a financial distress situation like this because they get a great opportunity, but they need the money or the equity in this property to get the better opportunity. So they are motivated to do this because they don't have enough cash to take advantage of the other opportunity without doing this. 1031s can fall into a little bit of financial distress because if they don't get the new property bought, they're going to lose all the tax benefits. So they can start getting financially motivated because in the long run, they do make more money through the tax savings and the new opportunity than they do trying to get a little bit more money for this house. And lastly, there's emotional distress. This one is always tough, and we try to bring a lot of compassion to this one. Great opportunity to be of service, live in our values, right? Our values here are being of service. So emotional distress, that's things like death or divorce. New marriage can be an exciting emotional distress, but it is a thing that forces people to want to move, want to make stuff happen, and be on a little bit of a tighter timeline. Sometimes moving for job transfer, things like that, can create some of that, where they're really excited about what's going on, or they got laid off and they got to make something happen and move to a different part of the country, do things that can create some emotional distress, but they're not yet in financial distress around it. So those are other things to look for that can cause somebody to be really motivated. Hey, I just got a new job offer. I got to go over here. My job is transferring me. I got to make a move. They're giving me a housing allowance. It's cheaper where I'm moving. I just want to get this place liquidated, buy a new place, and get set up in the next chapter of my life. There's usually some kind of motivation around all of these scenarios for sellers. And when you see these are people who are usually more likely to do the as is, where is kind of situation. We do want to be aware of the distressed homeowner law. I think this is why so many people think distress is only financial distress, although it's clearly not. And predatory behavior. So let's talk about that for a minute. Again, you can Google this, Washington State Distressed Homeowner Law. The MLS, the agent organization, Northwest Multiple Listing Service, has a specific disclosure around distressed homeowners to make sure that if you are in distress or on the verge of distress, you are doing things and ensuring that you have all of the options. when I first moved into the investor side, it was really on the pre-foreclosure side. So heavy financial distress. We really tried to go and acquire places that were financially distressed and physically distressed. That was a sweet spot of where we liked to try to operate in a way that was of service, not stepping on necks, not being predatory around that. The law is not great. The intentions behind it are amazing, and I fully support them. The language behind it is not helpful, and how it's enforced is not incredibly helpful. Often actually can harm sellers. It's designed to stop people from preying on people in foreclosure, of which sadly there was a lot of that. So that's a bummer. Again, that's why the law came to be. A lot of people were doing a lot of shady things back in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, even before the real bust. There were signs of things coming to fruition. So there was a lot of bad stuff happening. This law is designed to try to protect homeowners, protect equity, stop equity skimming and equity stripping, which is great, but it can also eliminate some opportunities. If you're talking to somebody, if you're in these situations and you're talking to somebody and they're unfamiliar with this law, I would suggest that you get away from them. So that can be a great screening question. Just ask them, hey, are you familiar with the distressed homeowner law? How does my situation impact the options that are available to you as a result? If they're not prepared to talk about that and they don't understand it, they either A, may not know about it because a lot of people don't, a lot of new people come in the space and they're not aware that they're committing felonies by what they're doing, or they're presenting you options to try to be really opportunistic, if I put it nicely, or predatory, to be a little more honest about what it often is. That can be a great screening question for you if you're in these scenarios. The fact is, especially a lot of how we've built our business is designed to help people in those situations to be able to create the optimum outcomes if they want to.